is getting the information that we need to make informed recommendations and decisions for clients. Okay? Now, you've all heard me say one sentence 500,000 times. What is that?
How do you measure success?
How are they going to measure success? A really good CNA is going to give you that information. Okay? So we're going to do a couple things. We're going to go through how to prepare for a CNA, things you should know at the end of a CNA. You guys can use it as a guide moving forward. And then we're going to do a group CNA, just for a sample. Okay? And then we'll be done for the day. A really good CNA starts with preparation. Now look, we're all busy. We've got a lot going on. You guys are tasked with a lot of stuff for your clients. We're all tasked with a lot of things for a lot of clients. However, when you go into a GVC type meeting or a really good qualified call you're excited about, a little bit of research time on the front end is going to make a huge difference. Even if it's 5-10 minutes, you're going to be more prepared than where you were without that time. The exercise we just did with GVC, spend a little bit of time on their site. What do they do? What can you learn about their market segmentation? What can you learn about where they do business, right? Review their website. What products and services do they offer? Do they have multiple product lines within certain types of loans? To Todd's point, it's not just they do loans, it's the jumbo loans and the VA loans and the FHA. Those are potentially different audiences. Social presence. Do they have one? Is it up to date? If it's not, enter our social media marketing strategy. Do they use social to position their products? Events. Do they do any events? Do they have any events coming up? Usually there's advertising tied to events. If it's a grand opening or an anniversary sale, they might want to promote themselves around the event. Competition. Who do they compete against? Are they being out-marketed? That's kind of hard to figure out from looking at their website potential, but do some Google searching. Who shows up for their products? Do they show up for their own products? Hop on to, what's the research for spend in TV? Hop on a Kantar. Are their competitors spending money in the TV realm? Are they? Are they spending more of their money in digital? History. What do they do? What have you seen them do in the marketplace? Have you seen them run billboards previously? Have you heard them on radio? And the X factor, you. What do you know about their industry or business? You might not know anything, but with a little bit of research, you might know a few things after you spend 10 minutes prepping for the call. Preliminary research, getting prepared for a CNA, keeps you from looking like you don't know how to do your job. And that sounds a little rash and a little harsh, but preparing and not having to spend your client's precious time saying, what models of cars do you sell? You don't want to be that guy. For one, you can figure it out when you drive on the lot, but two, you can do it previously when you get there. Do you sell your product online? He might say back to you, do you have eyeballs? Can you look at my website? Like, being prepared and having some anecdotes to offer the client, going back to why should you do business with me, that's attention to detail, right? If you know a client is really into a certain organization, or you look them up and you see that they're on a board of XYZ, you can drop a line. Hey, I saw that you're on the board with my good friend Brian Harrington. He's a great guy. I saw that you donate your time to the SPCA or something. I don't know your right? Having those kind of anecdotes really will set yourself apart. So let's get into actual CNA. If and when you are ready to put together a digital proposal, okay, whether you're doing it in conjunction with TV and Bob and Jason, or you come to my office and we brainstorm, if you know the answer to every one of these questions from your CNA, we're going to be in really, really good shape. Now, you might not get the answer to every one of these, and you might have answers to other questions that you think of when you're in that CNA. Use this as a guide. Specifically, in a digital perspective, a lot of these questions really can help us drive different products, different recommendations, and how we set the campaign up for success. going back to the 4 different sets of how people purchase things, if we hear through a CNA and they say, how are you going to measure success? And they say, well, all I care about is calls. I run a plumbing business. I need phone calls for service leads. We know we're going down a retention and a conversion campaign, and we know we got to get them calls, right? That's a whole lot of different proposal than not knowing they're going to measure by calls. So if we know the answers to these questions, it's a really, really powerful proposal that we can put in front of them. Okay? Targeting, most profitable. Do you have data available that I can use? It's a big one. It's one of my favorites. Seasonality. Digital is very nimble. It can be turned on, turned off quicker than anything else. If you have seasonality to your business, digital is a great way to make sure you don't have any waste. Any products or channels I should avoid? Hint, hint, what are you doing digitally right now? If they say, oh, I've got my brother's daughter is great with social media and I pay her $200 a week to do my social media, well, it's going to be probably kind of hard to fire a relative. Maybe we don't go down the social recommendation, right? If you know the answer to these questions, we're going to be in really good shape, okay? So, in the spirit of a good CNA, we're going to do a sample